All right, for the next few minutes, we're going deep into the digital trenches. We're going to break down the anatomy of a cyber threat, moment by moment, right through the eyes of a security analyst.
Forget what you've seen in the movies, with all the frantic typing. The reality is actually a high-stakes race against the clock, and it's all driven by data and a solid plan. So what actually goes down in that critical first minute of an attack? Let's get into it.
Okay, so our story kicks off right here, in what is basically the nerve center for all cybersecurity operations. So, a Security Operations Center, or SOC for short, is the digital frontline. It's a centralized team of experts, and their one and only job is to monitor, detect, analyze, and respond to cyber incidents 24/7. Think of them as the guardians of the network. And these guardians, they have this incredibly powerful tool called a SIEM. You can think of the Security Information and Event Management System as their all-seeing eye. Its job is to collect a massive, and I mean massive, amount of data from all across the organization, and then make sense of it all.
And look, the sheer scale of what a SIM is watching is just immense. It's not just one thing. It's pulling in logs from firewalls, it's tracking every single login, monitoring every device, and watching all the network traffic. It literally sees everything. And its whole purpose is to find that one tiny malicious signal hidden in all of that noise.
And that, right there, brings us to the exact moment the calm is shattered. It's that one signal that stands out from the millions of perfectly normal things happening every single second. And there it is, a high-priority alert. This isn't just some routine notification, This is the SIM basically screaming that something is very, very wrong. So an analyst sees this pop up on their screen. They might have dozens of other little alerts, but their eyes, they go straight to alert 78901, a potential brute force attack, and it's targeting a critical administrative account. The clock has officially started ticking. But you see, the alert is just the very beginning. Now, the analyst has to become a kind of digital detective, and the hunt for clues is on. Is this a real threat, or is it just a false alarm? Okay, so first things first, verification. The analyst dives right into their log tool, something like Splunk, and runs a query that looks a lot like this one. They're basically just telling the system, hey, show me all the failed logins, group them by the user and where they came from, but only show me the ones that have happened more than 10 times. They're looking for proof. Now, this whole verification process isn't random. It follows a super strict procedure. It's called an Incident Response Playbook. First, that query confirms the pattern of repeated failures. Next up, the analyst takes that source IP address and checks it against threat intelligence databases. Is this IP address already a known bad actor? And this is what really separates a simple mistake from a full-blown attack. A real user, well, they might forget their password a few times. A brute force attack, though, that's like a machine gun spray of attempts. We're talking dozens in just a few seconds, all from one place. The pattern is absolutely unmistakable. The threat is real. All right, the threat is confirmed. So the analyst immediately switches gears from investigation to action. It is time to fight back. And the good news is, they don't have to guess what to do. They have a playbook for this. See, every good SOC has these playbooks ready to go for specific threats. And for a brute force attack, the number one goal is containment. You absolutely have to stop the bleeding immediately before you can even think about how to patch the wound. And in a situation like this, literally every single second counts. That first move has to be fast, it has to be decisive, all to minimize the damage. First up, cut the attacker off at the source. The analyst adds that malicious IP address right to the firewall's block list. And just like that, boom, the attacker's connection is severed. The password guessing stops, dead in its tracks. But wait, what if the attacker already got lucky with one password? Well, to prevent that, the second containment step is to temporarily lock down the account that was being targeted. Now, even if the attacker somehow has the right password, they can't use it. The immediate threat has been neutralized. Okay, so the attack is stopped, but the job is far from over. Now we move into the next phase, restoring order and, maybe more importantly, learning from what just happened. What we just saw, that whole detection and containment thing, those are just two pieces of a much bigger puzzle, the incident response lifecycle. It all starts with preparation, having these playbooks ready to go. And then after containment, you've got eradication, recovery, and finally, what I think is the most important step for the future: post-incident analysis.
And this is where the real learning happens. The analyst fills out a super detailed incident report. They document exactly what happened, what the impact was, how they stopped it, and, this is the crucial part, they make recommendations. So in this case, maybe the organization needs a stricter account lockout policy, or maybe they should enforce multi-factor authentication on all admin accounts. Things that would make a brute force attack like this nearly impossible in the future.
And all of this, it really brings us to a fundamental truth about working in a SOC. The job, it's never really done.
365 days a year. That includes holidays, weekends, you name it. The watch continues. The SIEM never stops listening, and the analysts never stop watching, simply because the threats, well, they never take a day off.
And this right here is the ultimate takeaway. The whole point of incident response isn't just about putting out one fire. It's about analyzing the embers, figuring out exactly how the fire started, and then building a more fireproof structure for the future. Every single attack is a lesson.
So, we'll leave you with this one last thought. In the world we live in today, the question isn't if an organization is going to face an attack, but are its people, its processes, and its technology truly prepared for when it inevitably does?